Video series. It's Friday. Fridays are fun days. Today we're going to take a look at the top of the line Hyundai Santa Cruz Ultimate. Now we're in Canada, so we call it the Ultimate, but it's basically the exact same thing in the United States, except for one difference. Canadians do get one little benefit, and I think it may matter to a few of you, so we'll talk about that in a second. So here's how this works. We do a live video every single weekday from this video bay here, and what we do is we allow our live audience to join us up until about the 3-minute mark. So if you're watching with us and you're not live with us, feel free if you want to skip ahead to the 3-minute mark to get into the content you want to see. In the meantime, we're going to talk about some news, some notes, and we'll also talk about how to join us live if you want to stick around and see that. So here we go. This is how to join us live. You can jump into YouTube at exactly 2 o'clock Eastern time. If you refresh the page like I'm doing right now, you will see that that main video we had there is replaced by the live video that is currently going on. So we're going to click that. You're going to have to watch an ad for a quick second. Meanwhile, I'm just going to run a quick ad myself. If you're in Ontario and you want to buy a Hyundai Santa Cruz or some other Hyundai Kia product, you're looking for a new car or even a used car, connect with me. You can connect with me through the link in the description, and that'll take you to me, and I'll help you. I'm supposed to run a nice ad here. Basically, our team's going to treat you the way they would treat me, the way they would treat my family. And if you connect with me, I'll make sure that they do that, and we can follow up together, and we'll go from there. All right, that's my ad. Brantford Hyundai, Owen Sound Hyundai, Brantford Kia are the 3 dealers that support us. So that was a poorly run ad, and that's the way things go. All right, let's talk about some quick news and notes. I'm excited to do today's video. You guys know I really like this vehicle, so we're going to get into that in a second. News and notes, Ioniq 5. Likely delayed. We hear that in the States, it's confirmed. Hearing some hints around here that it's probably the same thing in Canada as well. So some delays on that, and that's going to be automotive industry right now. A lot of you guys were asking yesterday about the Sorento PHEV. So Sorento PHEV, not delayed. It's actually the first 2022 Sorento we'll see. So that should be in this video bay the very last day or so of September, give or take. Keep an eye on my Instagram if you want to see how to follow us. This is where I sort of preview what's coming up on my Instagram. So if you want to follow me there, that's how you'll know what's coming up. Otherwise, just keep an eye on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. We'll do that. What else going on in the Hyundai world? We're still waiting on some of those N models to come in, the Kona and the Elantra N. When they come in, of course, we'll have them as well. And I think that's about it. If you are a regular with us, make sure you hit that like button. We got a few less likes than normal at this point. So I know I've seen at least more than 5 regulars, and I only have 5 likes. So somebody's holding out on me. All right. Yeah, Santa Fe PHEV as well is also coming. I don't have a date on that one, but those kinds of things are coming. So there's a lot of new stuff coming up between now and about May or so. So stay tuned. We're going to cover it in detail. All right, closing on the last 5 seconds of our 3 minutes. So we'll get going here. All right. Hey everybody, it's Peter from the Kia Hyundai channel. As we mentioned, this is the 2022 Santa Cruz Ultimate. This is the top line version. We film in Canada. We call it the Ultimate. You guys call it the Limited. Basically the same. One major advantage for Canadians. And we'll show you that in a second. Actually, price is probably also an advantage for Canadians. If you are Canadian, you're going to like to hear that. If you're American, not so much. All right, let's just quickly show you where we're at in the lineup. And let me just click down here. Preferred and Ultimate are the 2 trims that we have right now. And $44,799 is where this vehicle would sit in the lineup. The difference with this one is basically everything but white has a $200 paint charge. This is a metallic paint, so it's $44,999 for this vehicle, which is a pretty good value. So the other day we did the midline model, or I guess the lower trim model, preferred model. We compared that to my personal Chevrolet pickup truck. And to be fair, Santa Cruz did pretty well. More payload, more ground clearance, more torque, a lot of mores in that truck department. But I've seen a lot of reviews on this vehicle, and I'm finding that everybody is saying, oh, the bed is just too small. And Hyundai never calls this a truck. And let's do this next video as if it's not a truck, because I frankly agree with their perspective. It's not really a truck. And when you hear people on other review channels saying, well, the off-roading ability is not up to the Jeep Wrangler. No, it's not. And then you say, oh, well, the bed doesn't fit a dirt bike. Well, here's the thing. Hyundai doesn't call this a pickup truck. None of you take dirt bikes in your SUVs. This is truly an SUV alternative, and we're going to talk about that. So while it does truck things very well, and I'll put a link in the description to the comparison to the my Chevrolet Colorado, which, to be fair, it does very well against that vehicle. We're going to compare this to an SUV, and we're going to talk about some of the main advantages why an SUV buyer may want to buy this, and we'll go through it in detail. And to be honest, we're going to show you things that you've never seen before in this in other videos. So somebody says they just picked up their Santa Cruz. Cool. So here's the thing. We are not a review channel. We are a dealership group. If you want to see a whole bunch of videos on this vehicle, I'll do a whole bunch. This is not something where we have it for 1 week, we do one video and we're done with it. So hit the subscribe button if you're interested in this vehicle, and we'll get going on it. All right, let me put the key in my pocket, because you guys always know I forget the key. Key's pretty cool. You guys have probably seen videos on this. You can hold this down to pop the tailgate. Why don't we just do that real quick to demonstrate for you? Hold it down. And it is a nice soft open tailgate. Pretty cool. We're going to take a look at the bed in a second here, and then we're going to go driver's seat. We'll spend a little bit less time in the bed than we did before because we're looking at it as an SUV, and I want to talk about some of the technology. Really quickly, this one has a couple accessories on it. This one's got the Thule racks up top. One of the things I like about these Thule racks is you can spread them pretty decently far apart. Not a ton, about 3 feet is easy to get. These are not as far apart as I would put them, but you can do that. And the nice thing is you have clearance from what I can tell, for the sunroof to tilt up and still be underneath these. It is going to depend on what kind of accessory you put on there, if you have a lot of screws or other things down there. So just keep that in mind when you have this mounted where it is. However, if you put it a little bit forward, you're not going to have any issue with the sunroof intrusion either. So racks there. You also have the little hood deflector here, which some people really like. It's not my personal favorite thing, but I think, to be fair, this one blends in really clean, especially on the black paint. You literally don't see it. So I think that's kind of a cool way to go. It does protect that paint out front. And then you also have mud flaps here, which look to me to be kind of a plasticky type material. And what I like about them is you're not going to have any snow or ice buildup because they're actually fairly floppy if you kick them. So somebody... you know, if you want mud flaps like this, it kind of reminds me of like the sort of Subaru WRX like rally type mud flaps as opposed to traditional SUV mud flaps. And like I said, benefit to these is they do kind of move around a little bit, so that snow and ice is going to fall right off instead of build up and chunk up there. And they do provide pretty good coverage. If you're towing a trailer, you're not going to have that shooting up into your trailer, which is kind of good. Speaking of trailer towing, when we talk about an SUV alternative, a lot of people know that this is based on the Tucson platform, and I like to say this is actually the Santa Cruz platform that the Tucson is built from. This structure was built from the ground up. The platform was built from the ground up to be this truck. The Tucson came out first, so all the automotive reviewers are calling it the Tucson platform, but you could just as easily call it the Santa Cruz platform. We know that this has more payload than my mid-sized truck. We know that it has more payload than some full-size trucks. So that payload is the weight it can carry. So it is a very strong structure. And when we talk about, you know, those mud flaps guarding your trailer, a 5,000-pound tow capacity is pretty good, especially when you consider that basically you're looking at a Tucson front dash area. So if you sit in the front 2 seats of the Tucson, you're very similar. Sit in the back 2 seats of the Tucson, or back 3 seats, it's a little different. We'll talk about those differences. But this allows you, if you ever talk to a truck person, truck people absolutely love their trucks. They wouldn't give them up for anything. What this does to me is open up a lot of the benefits of a truck to an SUV buyer. People love having a bed, and let's talk about that bed right now. So again, 5,000 pounds towing capacity, which is far more than you're going to get in anything in a compact to mid-size SUV. Palisade would be the only 5,000 pound towing capacity vehicle that we have. So everybody likes to say the bed's small because they all think of it as a truck, but now let's compare it to an SUV. You have this locking cover. Now, first of all, let me just show you how to lock that. You spin this around, you can see the little lock. I don't know if you can or not. Get the focus right. You can see that little lock sign there. Once that's locked, it disables the handle there. Nothing you can do. Spin it like that, and you can open it if you want, just part way like that. So again, if we close the tailgate, you've got just this section open. Maybe you're going camping and you just want to keep some coolers in here, but you want to keep the rest of the stuff kind of closed up. This is kind of rain resistant. It will keep most things dry in the bed, probably pretty dry, but they do recommend not power spraying it because then you may see a little bit of leakage around. It's just this seal, this rubber seal here pushing against the tailgate that keeps it water resistant at the back end. If you want to open this up the whole way, you can do that. And you can see that. It does have a strap attached. People think the strap looks silly, but it's very functional because it allows me to stand behind the vehicle and pull it closer to wherever I need it. The handle does stay open like that, so you can sort of tell if you've latched it or not. If it's latched in place, it'll kind of lock back and pull it in place. So here's the thing. If you have a little Tucson, you don't have near the trunk space like this. And I know in my pickup truck, one of the things I don't like about actually having a pickup truck is I don't have any really solid lockable storage. So if I want to take my bag, a laptop or a camera bag or something like that with me, it's sitting with my kids. Whereas this one, even if I don't want to put it in the bed, I do have lockable storage right here. And I want to show you one little feature there. There's the lockable trunk right there. a lot of people think that this is only lockable because once you shut it, and first of all, you can fit a number of backpacks. This is pretty good size in there. So a lot of people think that once you lock, or once you put that there, you have to close the tailgate to lock it. So I'm gonna prove that wrong right now. Here's my lock button right there. Hit the lock button, we are locked. Tailgate's open, and this little button, oh, it opens because the key's on me. Hold on, that was a bad example. I'll prove it again. We'll lock it again, let's shut it down. It is a proximity key, so let's lock it. Let's leave this key over here on the table where it's not near the trunk, because again, if that key is a proximity key and it's on you, so even with the car locked now, this will be locked. I won't be able to get in there. So I'm pressing that button now. Because it doesn't sense the key nearby, it's like I'm locked. So even if you had, tailgate open for whatever reason, and you wanted to lock the car, you can still, or the SUV or truck, whatever you want to call it, that can be locked with the tailgate open. So that's something that somebody's asked me about in the past. What's not lockable are these little cabinets right here. What I would do is keep some of the, tie downs, other things in there. But keep in mind, if you have the bed open and the top of the bed open and the tailgate open, those will be available. This one here does have a little power port, which is kind of useful to, charge various things. Just behind the door there, the little red light would turn on in there if it was active. So we'll put that back up. One of the things I really like as well is tie downs. Again, if you're comparing to an SUV, this is a massive area, which of course you can stack higher and higher, and then you can tie things down. These are adjustable. You can move them along that whole track system. You've also got this tie down here, this tie down there. Tie down's way out front here. And again, you can put this across. And Hyundai's got a pretty good video out on YouTube, Hyundai Canada anyways, where you can put 2x6s across here, 2x6 across there, lay a piece of plywood on, and you can stack like some of your dirty stuff underneath, some of your other stuff on top, and you can sort of heap it all over and have a nice tiered system. So smart system there. Those of you that need to carry 4x8 sheets of plywood, you're gonna set it on the wheel wells. It's gonna come straight out. You're gonna move this piece here. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. I'm doing a camera here. So you're gonna pull this out like, oops. You know what? It's easy to do with two hands, so we'll show you later. That pulls out of there, goes up to here. The tailgate sits at approximately this angle right there. And by doing that, it's at the exact same height as those, and you can set 4x8 sheets of plywood there. So if you have a small crossover, you gain a lot of flexibility by having a bed. The thing I like about having a bed is I do a lot of outdoor activities, and that's what this is called, a sports adventure vehicle. The outdoor activities, kayaking, camping, all those kinds of things, going to the beach, a lot of sand, a lot of dirt, a lot of mud gets in my vehicle. I don't have a problem with that because I throw it in the bed, hose it down, and we're good to go. The other thing with this trunk, which now the vehicle's locked, I gotta get that key again. The other thing with this trunk here is when we unlock it, which we'll do, unlock the whole car now, you do have a drain plug in there. They advertise this as a cooler, but really what it is it's a low point when you wash everything out. If you want to stick muddy boots, dirt, anything else in there, you can hose it out, pop that drain plug out, and everything can wash out of there easily. So you're not cleaning carpets forever. You're just using that trunk. All right, so we'll shut this all back up. There we go. Nice and shut. Basically locked if we want to lock it. I have to spin that underneath piece. And the vehicle did just lock because I didn't open the driver's door in time. All right, so we're opening the driver's door. I want to start with the driver's door here. We're going to take your questions in a little bit here. Inside this vehicle, I've seen a lot of car reviewers that don't read the specs, and they call this a gray interior. It's not, it's green. And in the right light, like we're in LED right now, sometimes it can look green, but it can easily be confused as gray. So if you are looking for the gray interior, a little bit lighter interior, it's actually green, and you can tell if it's the green interior by the orange accents. The orange accents are only available on the green interior, and I gotta admit, I was nervous when I saw green interior. Green interior is probably the interior to get. It adds a little bit of clarity. I still like the black because it's traditional, but the green just gives a little bit of variety in there, and it's excellent. So it's not something that's gonna be offensive, not something that's gonna be tough for resale value. Inside the dash here, we are in the top of the line. Happy Friday, Peter and Teddy. Hey, Mimi's joined us. Got some regulars jumping in. All right, so in the dash here, a lot of things going on. If I quickly start up the car here, or I'm gonna call it a car all day long, whether it's a truck or SUV or whatever. Signal left, and that is my blind spot right there. Signal right, and there's my blind spot there. I think Albert just gave us some cargo liters in Canada for the bed, 700 and some odd. And what I will say about a bed is a typical SUV is measured in cargo liters in the back. And the difference with an SUV is you're very limited. And a lot of those liters are, excuse me, unusable. They're in kind of weird corners. This bed is very open. The entire space is usable. And of course you can go up, tie down, and cover it up if you want. And you've got a lot more space that way. All right, we're 15 minutes into this video. We've got 61 people on. Do me a favor, guys, hit the like button. We're gonna go through some technology for about 5 minutes here. Then we're gonna go take your questions. Feel free to ask a question at any point. If I don't get to it now, I will get to it later. Let's see if we can get to 60 likes again today? Let's see if we can do that. All right, in the dash here, let's start with a couple cool things. You've seen the dash gauges in here. You can change the way the gauges work in a number of different ways. But what we're gonna do is set them up here. I'm gonna not show you what I'm doing just because it's easier. We're gonna change the theme over here, and you can set the theme to link to the drive mode, which is what it is right now, or you can do Classic A, which is what you see. Classic B is the sport mode. Classic C is this mode here. And then there's a cube mode, which I kind of like. You got a digital dash. I mean, it's just different. It's weird. And I mean, if you like this vehicle, it's probably a different weird vehicle as well. So your tachometer in digital, your speedometer in digital, and then of course you could use this for whatever you wanted, which would be cool to see things like maybe your all-wheel drive gauges, or maybe you can see your lane keep assist. Where are we here? Oh, sorry, we gotta go over. There's your navigation menu. Here's my lane keep. Nope. Oh, there it is. Sorry, right there. There's my lane keep there. So even that kind of changes. Let's switch the drive mode again here. We'll let that settings disappear. It says hold OK to go to the settings. We're going to let that disappear there on the bottom. There we go. So now you can see that. So again, when we change it to Classic A, it changes to the regular Santa Cruz. Classic B, same thing. Classic C. So kind of a cool way that you can customize the gauge cluster. We've got it linked to the drive mode right now. The other thing that I really like, again, full display. We got the cameras up there that you can see down there. And somebody said, do the rump roasters have a timer on them? Well, that's a good question. So we'll talk about that in a second as well. Okay, so let me zoom back out. Come on over here. We're gonna show you this center display screen. There's a ton that I like about this center display. First of all, navigation is standard on this trim level. So you can go see the map anytime you want. If you want it to be like that, you can set it like that. Or if you want it to go full screen, you can go full screen like that. So really nice map system in here. What I particularly like is, where are we here? Actually, let's just show you the camera. Here's the camera right now. So this is the backup camera. The clarity of this camera is fantastic, and what's different is these lines are a little bit thinner than every other Kia and Hyundai product that I've seen, which makes it look a lot more precise. It seems like the resolution of this camera is better, and of course this is the backup view, so if we can put it in reverse for a second, let's just see. There would be reverse. Now we go to drive. The drive camera also shows you the same thing, where your wheels are going to head or where the outside of the vehicle is going to head. If I turn the wheel, which is hard to do, you can see that the inside of the car is going to go that way. If I go to reverse, it shows you that the front wheels are going to swing out that way. So you have a backup camera here with the 360 camera right there, and it's really good clarity. And then you can do little things as well. Like let's look at just the sides of the car. So I'm parallel parking, let's say. There's exactly the front wheels of the car. There's the side of the car, left side and right side. So you can see exactly what you want to see. If you want to hitch a trailer, you go straight down from the back. You can see that that's where your hitch is going to be, and you will see the hitch in there. Just a really good system here for a backup camera. And again, you can see the hitch a trailer from here as well. Overall, excellent system here. It's probably one of the best 360 cameras we have, and I think it's just worth pointing out. All right, so the other thing I want to show is the multiple users. You can see that it's currently set to Peter. Why? Not because it's my car, but there are, oops, let's go back here, change user. I can change it to Jeff. Jeff is the one who is the general manager of Brantford Hyundai. He's the vehicle this is. We're going to confirm that. Now what happened is when I confirmed it, you can see I was on the highway. Now it switched all this system over to him. So this is the way he has his set up. And I'm not sure if that's his station or not, or just what somebody had it on when they were using it. But you know it's Jeff's settings, which is kind of cool up here. So it's his radio stations, his view on the dash here. The climate system also switched over to the way I had it set for Jeff. Now, Jeff doesn't keep it at this. I just made sure it was not the way I had mine set. My climate was currently set to off. So if I switch back to my settings, both this setting, everything in here, and everything in mine, and as soon as I hit change user, it assumes you're the next one down, so it's assuming it's mine. I can hit confirm, and it'll switch to me. Now with me, I had the climate system set to off, I had the country station on, and I had the map up the same sort of way. Now what's cool is, if I want to go to my settings, I can change even my profile image here. So you can't customize it completely, but you can choose out of the list that they have here, which is a pretty good list, nice and easy. Some of them are more colorful. You can change it to seasonal type items. There's winter, there's fall, there's nice, palm trees, so whatever you want. The flowers, I think, speak to me. I'm Dutch, part Dutch. My mom's Dutch, so I got some tulips on there and other things. So anyways, you can keep it to whatever you want. You can set your BlueLink account up as well. BlueLink is, of course, a cell phone app that remote starts the car, that kind of thing. Somebody asked a really good question a second ago. Will the seat heaters automatically time out? And in most vehicles, they do turn down from top after a certain length of time. This vehicle is unique, though, because you can set this vehicle up so when you hit the start button, the climate control system sees outside temperature and inside temperature, and if it requires you to have air conditioning in the vehicle, it will also turn on your seat ventilator automatically. If it requires you to have heat in the vehicle, it'll turn on your seat heating, rump roasters, and your steering wheel. So all you do, instead of, one of the most frustrating things I do in the winter is get in my car is I hit the start button, then I hit the rump roaster button, which is in this car down here, rump roaster, and then I hit the heated steering wheel. If you're a Canadian, that's the routine you go through. Start, heat, heat. Well, in this car, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is hit that start button, and it will give you the ventilation that you want and the seat heating that you want. And if you're a person who usually keeps the car at, say, 20 degrees Celsius, and you share it with someone who keeps the car at 22 degrees Celsius, just change the user, and everything is set up to be your car. All right, we're still looking for some likes. I'm gonna go take your questions right now. We're gonna come back to the driver's seat. We're gonna talk about a lot more technology, then we can go around and take a look at some other things as well. So let's do that right now. I really like this car, guys. It's, as an SUV, you get a ton of features. It drives really well. We haven't talked about intelligent speed limit assist. We haven't talked about the cruise control that can slow down for curves in the road. All those kinds of things. Highway drive assist, where you can drive, you can't drive with your hands off the wheel, but you can drive with your hands off the wheel. Just don't say I told you that. But yeah, it keeps it centered in the lane, keeps it really good. So let's go through here and take some of the questions. Albert just asked one, so I'm gonna start with that one because it'll be at the bottom where I can find it. All right. Can the startup of the car be adjusted through BlueLink for summer and winter temperatures? Yes, there are even presets in the BlueLink system. So for instance, my car, I have it set up where it's, I can start it outside the garage or inside the garage in the winter, because inside the garage, again, mine's an electric car, so I can start it inside my garage, but I don't turn on some of the windshield defrost the same way. But I have mine set up for a summer and winter settings, so you can set custom features, or you can do anything you want. You can set presets essentially on it, so that works really well. Dimensions of the trunk. I don't have my tape measure with me, so maybe somebody has it online, they can drop it in there, but we can get the tape measure at the end of the video if you want. Somebody says, I love the information you give on the car. Oh, thank you. That's really nice. Oh, and you're a subscriber. I appreciate you guys subscribing. You guys have no idea how much that means. Okay. Time to go. Time to do laundry old logo. Oh, I don't know. Okay. 764 liters in the bed. Oh, does that include the below floor area too or not? My understanding was that would probably not include the below floor load area. That trunk area is separate from the bed. So when I refer to this car, if you hear me talk about it, I talk about the bed and the trunk. To me, those are different, and I believe it's the same thing under Hyundai's version as well. Tonneau cover and washing issue or something. Oh, okay, so the issue I said about the tonneau cover is that the tonneau cover can handle rain. Mostly, it's only got one little seal at the back area, so high pressure water is probably gonna leak through there a little bit. Treat it like a bed, put stuff in there that shouldn't get soaking wet, but could get a little damp. Most of the time I've seen it's been pretty good. I did run it through a high pressure wash today and had very little intrusion of water, so certainly rainproof, I would feel like it's pretty good, but they don't promise it's rainproof. Kind of disappointed with the vehicle. I broke off the taillight clips. Oh, well that's not good. Somebody had a little issue with their first one. Okay, so what else we got? Tim says, friendly reminder, this is Tim, my boss, I gotta read this one. Friendly reminder, Pete, to your audience, in the Kia world, we need to start ordering 2022 models. Yes, if you're buying a car, Kia or Hyundai right now, pretty much prepare to order. So if you're planning on getting a car in the new year, those kind of things, think about ordering and buying right now. So that cover can take a car wash at a gas station then? Oh yes, the car, yeah, I ran this through the car wash. This car was supposed to be hand washed for me and it wasn't, so I ran it through a pressure washer, like touchless wash, and it did a fine job. And like I said, just a minimal intrusion of just a little bit of water, even though it had a lot of high pressure shooting on it. All right, we gotta find 20 more likes, so I'm gonna keep digging in here and see what we can do for you. All right, coming through back to the steering wheel here. I want to take a look at a couple things in here. The Ultimate model that we have right now has a number of things that I really quite like. Which way did I turn the wheel? Let's turn the camera on and find out. So I got to turn it this way. Okay, heavy wheel to steer on its own. And if those of you are wondering if I can steer the wheel while it's parked, the vehicle is made to do that. All right, so we talked about the camera system here. We talked about the user menus. There's a couple other little things I like in here. We can swipe across here. We can go to the settings. There is a quick button. I could just hit the setup. Oh, let's talk about the volume switch. Everybody hates the volume switch because car reviewers tell us what we like. And then we have to start evaluating, is that true or not? So here's the thing with the volume switch. Everybody likes a volume knob because they've always had a volume knob. This one doesn't have one. I'm on the record as saying I prefer volume knobs. Here's the thing I realized the other day. If you, well, this one I didn't realize the other day. If you are in the kind of person who uses the volume knob to crank it down like that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna tap this button there and it's all muted. If you wanna crank the volume in a hurry, hold it for a second, and trust me, it turns just as quick as you would be going crank it weighing up, and you're holding it all the way down, it'll crank all the way down. So I'm kind of over the whole volume knob thing. It's just too big of a deal that all these guys are making when they review car. Oh, it needs a volume knob. Honda, they complained about Honda's volume knob and Honda came back with a volume knob. Good for them. You don't need it. We can learn new things and it's just as functional. I thought I was gonna not like it as well, but then I realized, wait a minute, do I really need it? Because in my car, the only thing I use a volume knob for is to quickly turn it off or on, and it's just not an issue. So I don't know if that matters to you guys. Let's talk about the all-wheel drive system in this vehicle. All-wheel drive has been mischaracterized by a whole bunch of people that I've seen online. So let's talk about that and make sure we know what we're talking about. A lot of people say, oh, well, it's a front drive system, so it's not gonna work very well because it's gonna have to transfer the power to the rear wheels. Well, those people have never used this car or never studied our all-wheel drive system. The reality is this always starts in all-wheel drive. Most of the time, your all-wheel drive pickup or 4x4 pickup won't do that if it's in the all-wheel drive setting. So it always starts with 4 wheels. And we could take this car for a drive right now, and you would see that this bar graph would fill up with the back wheels and front wheels showing you all-wheel drive. It is designed for poor weather. Is it a rock crawler? No, it's not. You don't take your Tucson rock crawling. So TFL Truck did a thing, and they said, wow, it's really not that good because it could really use a better traction mode. Well, guess what, Americans? Canadians have better traction modes. We have, excuse my poor camera work, a drive and terrain mode. We switch to terrain mode, we can switch up and down. So let's just zoom in right here and let's take a peek at what we've got here. Drive modes, or terrain modes, snow, mud, and sand. That mud and sand mode can change the way the all-wheel drive system works, can change the way the traction control works, can change all those things. So when TFL Truck recently did a comparison, said, it's not really great on their essentially Jeep run, they don't have the drive modes that we have here in Canada, and I guarantee you they will react differently and they will likely improve that. So something to keep in mind is that some people are criticizing this because it's not the truck they want it to be. It's never meant to be that truck, but it does have some cool stuff. And then also, when we look at the all-wheel drive system here, let's just flip around again. Like I said, it always starts in all-wheel drive, and then as it senses that you still have traction, it moves the power back to the front. It doesn't go front-wheel drive until it's assured itself that it has all the traction it needs. What that means is you have a really good all-wheel drive system when you're camping on the slippery roads and that kind of thing, muddy roads, slick roads, whatever it is, it's always starting in all-wheel drive. It's always starting to be sure-footed. If you whip the steering wheel back and forth, it's gonna make sure it has power at the rear wheels. There's a whole bunch of things it does to make sure it has power at the rear wheels. It can check it. I think some of the systems are 100 times per second and make adjustments there. So let's just keep in mind that you can really, the system is different. It's not a front-wheel bias system in the sense that it starts out front-wheel drive like a lot of our competitors. It's an all-wheel drive system that will default back to front-wheel drive in good weather conditions. In poor weather, in situations where it may anticipate you need something, even going around a highway ramp, it's going to have all-wheel drive. So that's important to mention here. One of the things I want to show you as well, let's flip back around. Oops, come on, camera. We can go to the vehicle settings, we can go to the lighting settings, and on this trim level, there's not just 10 ambient lighting colors. There are actually, where are we? Oh, the color right there. So on the other vehicle, there's like 10, I think, polar white, moon white, ice blue. Yeah, a lot of the same colors as here, but you have a custom color down here. When you click the custom color, you can set the custom color to one of 64 different colors. This doesn't film very well. It's a proper color wheel. Yellow's at the top, pinks and purples are down there, reds and blues on the opposite side. So again, it doesn't film well, but it does have ambient lighting, and the top line trim, you can set it to literally anything you want as long as you have 64 favorite colors. So it's pretty cool, and we can link it back to the drive mode and it will be set there. So a lot of cool little things. Intelligent speed limit assist we should probably go down to as well. Driver assistance, speed limit warning. So speed limit warning, I have to do a video on intelligent speed limit assist. I can't explain everything right now, but a speed limit assist button adjusts the vehicle speed based on the current speed limit of the road, but you don't have to go the speed limit. None of us really do. So I can set this up to 5 over or 10 over, or even 5 under and 10 under. Now, not that I would ever speed, you are in control of your own vehicle, but the speed limit assist is something that works even if you don't drive exactly at the speed limit. So we're gonna do a separate video on that in the future, speed limit warning. This vehicle is, when I say it's an SUV alternative, the technology in this car is top of the line SUV, and it's really, really good. Okay, we're at the 30-minute mark, so we're gonna make sure we jump out of here. I got a couple things I wanna show you. Normally we end the video right now, but we're gonna beg you for, let's see, let's call it 14 more likes, see if we can get to 60 likes. Gonna hop in the rear seat because that's one of the big concerns I've always had about this vehicle, and I'll show you the realities of that. Then I wanna show you some lighting, and then we'll wrap it up with your questions as well. So we'll go a little overtime again, just because we've got a bunch of people on. I don't wanna hang up on you all right now. Okay, Peter's the best salesman. Peter's a marketing guy. Peter doesn't even sell these things. All right, so let's talk about this right now. Rear seat, as you guys know, it can flip up. There's a tray underneath. The tray can come out, and the seats can come down. The tray is not a supporting element of the seat. So if you want to get rid of that tray all the time, you can. It's pretty simple. Now, we've got junk in this car. Ignore that. Here's me getting in. Do I fit? Very easy to get in. It's a taller vehicle. The doors open nice and wide, and I have great headroom. Sunroof goes into here. Where I sit, I've got great headroom. My concern was two things. Are my legs going to be on the seat? And they are. And do my knees fit? The Tucson has a ton of room. Like, the Tucson's massive back here, guys. But this one has not as much room. But it has enough for me. So you're going to have to ask yourself, if you are a 6'3" person and you need to put a 6-footer behind you, you're going to want to try it out first. It might work for you. It might not. As a 6-footer myself, sitting behind myself, it's fine. It's perfectly comfortable back here, perfectly roomy, and you get some nice amenities as well. You get the pockets on the back of both seat backs. You have the vents back here in the Ultimate package. You have the 2 USB ports down there as well. So pretty nice back here. But I will say, if you're bigger than me, if you're bigger than 6 feet, and you're also gonna have a large person behind you, you're gonna have to try it out yourself. Find a dealer where you can try it out. If you're 6 feet or below, I think you're gonna be totally satisfied with the space here, unless you are one of those guys who reclines the seat way back for no reason whatsoever. So rear seat space, again, SUV alternative, you're gonna give up a little bit of SUV space compared to something like the Tucson, but you're gaining a way more flexible load bed right there. All right. Going to your questions in a second. We're going to do lighting for a second because this one is different and this one is better. And let's just turn it to the on position. All right, we're going to turn all the lights on, including the 4-way flashers, which are up here. There we go. So, whoa, that was camera. I meant to film the other way. Sorry about that, guys. All right, there we go. Signal lights, you got them in the mirrors there, really clear. And the point with these signal lights is that is a super bright light that never shows great on camera, but really bright, so you can see it from the back. Coming up to the front. When I turn the headlights off, this signature lighting element is actually brighter. These are your headlights down there, and this is actually brighter. Once you turn your headlights on, it's dimmer. So at night, it looks kind of normal light. In the daylight, they're actually quite bright lights. And again, LED lights don't film very well, so you'll have to just bear with me as you see that. A lot of people say this is the Tucson grille. It's not. None of the body panels are shared between this and the Tucson. Tucson has like 4 lighting elements here. This is a different, more aggressive looking grille, dark chrome. And then some people are upset because they think this amber light is pointing the wrong way. I say get over it. It's fine. It looks cool in person. Now these LED lights, we have multiple LED lights in the Kia Hyundai family. These are the best ones we have. They're not the multi-reflector ones, they are the projection, I can't remember what they're called right now. But the difference is, these are the ones when you do a safety test, the headlighting matters. These are the ones that win every single time. They have a super sharp cutoff. And the benefit to a vehicle like this is a lot of pickup trucks and even SUVs have very high lights. When you put those kind of bright lights up high, they can sometimes, because the vehicle's raised up, shine right into the windows of vehicles. Down here, they're bright, they're safe, and they don't shine into the vehicles ahead of you or behind you. It looks pretty sharp in person. Nice LED lights there as well. Both a win and a fail over here in my books. Pretty cool looking taillight design. I love this taillight design. There's some detail there. You can sort of see it on camera. It just looks cooler in person. It's got some 3D look. The fail in my mind is I would have liked to see these LED lights, these signal lights to be LED as well. They're not. It is what it is. You do have a nice one where you can sort of really see there. Again, that shows up in person. So pretty cool lighting in this car. And again, because it's an LED, it's just this really consistent bright light. It does not film very well, but really clear and nice. The last thing I'll point out while we're back here is a lot of people point out these corner steps, but they don't realize how they work. For a non-truck buyer, you may not realize how important those are. To get into the bed, you could step there, or you could step there and kind of climb into the bed. But if you pulled down the tailgate, which again can be popped in a number of different ways, now you have no step into the bed. But because you have these, a lot of times the Ford trucks will have that full down thing that comes out, takes you 30 seconds to pull it out. This is pretty simple. GM does this as well. You put your foot in there, it's one step here, it's another step up there, and you can see me do it right now. 1, 2, and I'm on the tailgate very easily there. So that's a really important step because it makes it, this is just too high to step up on, but that you can go from there to there. It makes a ton of sense. All right, guys, we're 35 minutes in, got 73 people on. We were looking for 60 likes, so that means I only need 5 more. But if you guys wanna hang out and give me a like, keep in mind, we're not a review channel. If you want to see more about this vehicle, we're going to do a whole lot more vehicles. There's intelligent speed limit assist. We told you we're going to talk about that in a future video. I'm going to make a lot of short videos coming up on the features in this car and other cars like it, or truck or whatever you want to call it. But I'm also going to do more extensive videos on this vehicle as well in different ways, different types. So let's take your questions right now and see if we can earn your subscription. We made it to 60 likes, so why not? Let's go for 70 now. Okay, let's just scroll down to the bottom comments here. Maybe you can do a review of all the accessories of this truck and real-world towing capabilities with passengers. Yeah, real-world towing will do some stuff. I plan on trying to tow a vehicle. I've got a trailer I can tow. I think some of these are getting hitched on. This one is currently the general manager of the store, so we might be able to tow with his. Mine needs 7-pin wiring because anything over 2,000 pounds in Canada needs the braking, so I think he's going to put 4-pin on this. But the point is we will tow with this vehicle. I will do a video of us towing with this vehicle. Through hammer portion should have in the flash. Oh yeah, okay. So some people say that hammer looking, the handle of the hammer on the signal lights should have been, or on the marker light should have been signals as well. Can I sit with Teddy for comparison in the back seat? Sure, I can do that in a minute. Carnival has the best rear seats I've ever seen. The Carnival does have the best rear seats that I've ever been in. Somebody says, wish it was reclining rear seat. I can see that, but again, compared to the segment, they're very good seats. I would say they're more comfortable than my Colorado seats are. Go to Brantford Kia and ask to see Peter, then see sales with a full informed decision of the vehicle. You'd be surprised. A lot of people have a chat with me. Just, I do my thing. And obviously, if you buy a vehicle from us, either Brantford or Owen Sound location, if you need to be in touch with me, we can arrange that and help you out. Somebody says, wish it had dual exhaust, but yeah, I don't mind that. Somebody says they pre-ordered Santa Cruz. They're excited. Yeah, that's cool. Always starts in all-wheel drive switches. Seems like Hyundai USA needs to match Canadian spec vehicle soon. Yeah, I mean, that drive mode thing is a big deal to me. We get that, the Americans don't. All right, somebody wants to see Teddy in the back seat. Let's just do our traditional Teddy test of Teddy in the trunk. So keep in mind, compare this to something like a Tucson or a smaller crossover. Oops, lost my camera there. Okay. So if we throw Teddy in here, first of all, he does not fit in the trunk. The trunk is going to be too small for him. And again, I'm okay with that because this is just the secure storage where, for me, I'm sticking my laptop, maybe my gym shoes, but the stuff that I don't want stolen, I do want weatherproof, camera bag, that kind of stuff, backpack, whatever. There's lots of space there. It's pretty big. A lot of people thought it was bigger than they thought it was when they see it in person. Teddy bear is over here. We're going to throw him in. Now, let's do the traditional Teddy test. What I always do is I put Teddy up against the back seats. So bear with me for 10 seconds. We'll do that. Okay, I can kick him in there. So Teddy against the back seats. Again, for a compact crossover, you can fit 3 Teddys in there pretty easily. So Teddy, and probably at least another half a Teddy. So again, when we're talking cargo space in a fairly compact crossover, you have a ton of space here. Someone says, how about some other colors besides what is offered? Yes. I'm with you. I'd like to see some other colors other than what's offered. There's a lot of earth tone things here. I don't make those decisions. But anyways, you can see Teddy bear is pretty big in there. Somebody said they want to see me sitting with Teddy, so we'll do that. We never usually do that, but we've got to do this soon because we want to make sure we wrap up this video in time. Let's throw Teddy bear right here on the seats. Oops. Okay, Teddy bear. He's got some stuff by his feet here, guys, so ignore his feet. There's Teddy bear sitting there. He's happy. And we'll jump in. We'll show you me jumping in with Teddy bear. because you guys asked. So here I am in the seats. Again, keep in mind Teddy Bear is, his feet are kind of crunched because we've got some stuff there on the floor. Floor mats are all curled up there, so don't worry about that. But how are Teddy and I for space? Let's look at it. There he is, Teddy Bear and me, 6 feet. I'm a 6-foot person. Lots of space here between us. Like, even if I sat in the middle seat, I'm snuggling up with him because he's a big dude, but lots of space for us. I'm quite comfortable here. I can move my elbows around, and you can see, there we go. Lots of space for us. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna finish it right here in the video in the back. How do I pre-order a Carnival? There's a video on that in a second, and we'll talk about that. That's a sort of a separate video. We've gone a little long on this one. 78 people joined us so far, are still currently live with us, right now. So that means there'll be several hundred people here. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll have a ton more on this in the coming days. So, coming days, coming weeks, lots of stuff coming up. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll talk to you again soon.